Many mistakenly believe that mental strength manifests loudly, assertively, and at times even aggressively. But what if the true signs of a genuinely strong-willed and emotionally mature person are almost invisible, hidden from a superficial glance? Below, we will uncover 10 such signs, imbued with the deep psychological wisdom of Carl Jung. 1. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors. You are no longer the person who always agrees with everything, but not because you no longer care. On the contrary, you now care deeply. You have begun to truly value your inner peace, your precious time, and most importantly, your nervous system. You have deeply understood a simple yet often painful truth. People will take exactly as much as you are willing to give. And if you are constantly and limitlessly available to everyone, sooner or later you simply dissolve, losing your very essence. This is precisely why you have started setting boundaries. These are not insurmountable walls to push others away, but rather a fine filter that allows you to see who truly respects your authentic self, now that you can no longer be manipulated or taken advantage of. This is the essence of individuation, as Carl Jung described it, the process of becoming your true self. This path begins the moment you stop betraying yourself just to please others or maintain an illusion of peace. Your boundaries are not an act of aggression. They are rather a guardian for that sacred inner space you have fought so hard and painfully to reclaim. 2. You no longer take anything personally. Gone are the days when every word, every glance pierced through you. Now, you no longer take anything personally. Let people judge, misunderstand, ignore, or criticize. Their opinions no longer hold power over you. You have gained an invaluable gift, emotional sovereignty, and your self-worth is no longer dependent on others' reactions. You have finally understood the profound wisdom Carl Jung spoke of repeatedly. Everyone wears their persona, a mask behind which they carefully conceal their unresolved pain, their shadow. This is why when someone lashes out or abruptly withdraws, you see the true reason. It's their personal story, their inner battles, not a reflection of your essence. You no longer waste energy on retaliation. Your defense is the wisdom of letting go, allowing the situation to pass. In this silent act lies true, unwavering strength. 3. You understand that no one owes you anything. You have deeply realized that no one, absolutely no one, owes you anything. The turning point has arrived where you have stopped clinging to the illusion that the world would come and save you. You have released the hopeless expectation of apologies that may never come. That subtle yet persistent inner child's voice whispering, "They should have treated me better," has finally quieted. Now you create your own closure with your own hands. You give when your heart desires, not because you secretly harbor hope for a favor in return. You no longer resort to manipulation or make demands. You freely choose your path. This is the true face of maturity. This is a profound, liberating realization. True love, genuine generosity, and sincere kindness flourish only when given freely, unconditionally, without expectation. Carl Jung would likely describe this as a wondrous liberation from the tenacious grip of the ego. When the belief in your heart that the world owes you to make up for all your past deprivations fades, you gain incredible freedom. The freedom to give without the slightest fear and to receive without persistent need. You share advice only when genuinely asked. Now you only share advice when genuinely asked. There was a time when an irresistible urge to correct others, to offer a wise word, to save someone from suffering with a perfect quote or profound insight simmered within you. But over time you have grown much quieter, for you have grasped the truth. Unsolicited advice often turns into mere noise and at times a direct threat to another's unique process of discovery. You have come to a deep understanding that each person is on their own unique spiritual journey, at their own pace, and no matter how obvious their mistake may seem to you, perhaps they are currently learning a crucial lesson, extracting necessary knowledge from their own chaos. Carl Jung repeatedly emphasized the significance of the unconscious journey each of us is destined to undertake. This means that sometimes people simply need to step directly into the fire of trials to discover their own unique truth. Therefore, you now patiently create space. You wait for an invitation, for you deeply trust that truth is best absorbed only when a person's soul is truly ready to receive it. You no longer shy away from responsibility. You no longer shy away from responsibility. Having shed the shackles of shame and self-blame, you bravely accept the burden you once avoided. Hours spent in futile attempts to prove yourself right are a thing of the past. Now, you are not afraid to utter words that once seemed unthinkable. I was wrong. I didn't know better. I take responsibility. For you, mistakes are no longer flaws. They have become an integral part of your path to self-development, stepping stones on the ladder of growth. Carl Jung believed in the vital integration of the shadow, those unconscious fragments of our soul that we persistently deny, suppress, or project onto others. And it is through accepting responsibility bit by bit that you reclaim these alienated parts, bringing them together to become truly whole and complete. You are not afraid to acknowledge your part in shared pain, yet you wisely refuse to bear the burden for what was never yours. This subtle yet robust balance, this profound self-honesty devoid of self-denial, is a rare and incredibly powerful quality. 6. You no longer strive to be liked. You are simply honest. You no longer strive to be liked. You are simply honest. And at first this truth cuts, it hurts, because Let's face it, we all grew up believing that love must be earned by being good, convenient, fitting in, and not causing discomfort to others. But then a moment of realization arrives. You awaken as if from a dream and clearly understand. If in order to be accepted I have to wear a mask, then in essence they don't love me, but only my illusion. You have finally found peace, coming to terms with the fact that you might be misunderstood. You have accepted the right to disappoint those who value only a convenient projection of you, who love only the version of you that doesn't disturb their comfort. This is authenticity, and this path can sometimes be solitary. But as Jung subtly observed, loneliness is born not from physical solitude, but from the inability to express what feels truly important and profound. You have traded the craving for external approval for a deep inner resonance, for a true alignment of the soul. And then the right people, your kindred spirits, will find you based on your authentic self, not on a clever act. 7. You understand what to share and what to keep private. You have gained the wisdom to discern what should be spoken aloud and what should be kept private. You have stopped oversharing, and this is not a sign of coldness, but the fruit of deep awareness. At some point you understood not every moment needs an audience, not every insight needs applause, and not every emotion needs elaborate explanation. You are surely familiar with that gnawing feeling when, after opening up to someone, you later felt regret, as if you had given away something sacred too hastily, too easily. This is your inner voice, your intuition whispering an important reminder. Your inner world is not public property. Carl Jung taught that one of the deepest tasks of human life is to integrate one's unconscious to truly know oneself. But not everyone around you is ready to embark on this journey. And you have realized, those who haven't dared to face their own depths are often incapable of understanding or accepting yours. This is why you now guard your inner world like a precious garden. You choose your words to build bridges and strengthen connections, not to seek approval. And sometimes, in a deep awareness of your worth, silence becomes the loudest expression of self-respect. 8. You can hold opposites without breaking. You are able to hold opposites within yourself without breaking down or shutting off. Your thinking has long transcended primitive black and white categories. You can experience deep joy even while grieving. You can genuinely, wholeheartedly care for someone, yet find the strength to leave if necessary. You offer others your empathy, but firmly and clearly delineate your personal boundaries. This is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is the greatest psychological flexibility. A true beacon of inner maturity. This is precisely the state Carl Jung called holding the tension of the opposites. In his profound conviction, it is this ability to reside in duality without trying to force a quick and artificial resolution that is the very path by which our consciousness expands, becoming more expansive and wise. While most people desperately seek singularity, either one or the other, you have learned to live with the harmony of both and this makes you emotionally multilingual. You are capable of speaking of the deepest pain and of serene peace in the same breath. And in this capacity lies an incredible silent strength. 9. You see the pattern, not just the person. You see not just the person, but the pattern hidden behind them. You no longer react instinctively as before. When someone suddenly lashes out at you or conversely demonstratively withdraws, you don't rush into a reactive response. Instead, you pause, take a deep breath, and calmly observe. Because your gaze is directed not at the momentary incident, but at the repeating pattern. This is meta-awareness, the remarkable ability to notice both your own behavior and the actions of others while remaining an impartial observer. Without allowing emotions to completely engulf you, you begin to see with astonishing clarity moments when emotions overwhelm you, the recurring traps others get caught in. You unfailingly recognize the roles expected of you and finally decide to play them no longer. The great Jung asserted that the roots of most of our suffering are hidden in unconscious scripts, in inherited stories, in old wounds that bleed anew, in countless masks we are accustomed to wearing. But once these scripts emerge from the shadows into the light of awareness, you shed the role of actor and for the first time become the true author of your own life. This profound shift is not just a change, it is the birth of authentic freedom. 10. You return to your true self. You return to yourself, to the version that existed before the world began dictating who you should be. This is perhaps the deepest and most powerful transformation, and precisely the one that evokes the greatest fear, for this path is irreversible. There comes a moment when you look in the mirror, not just with your eyes, but with your whole soul, and with piercing clarity realize, I no longer recognize this person. This version of myself that constantly plays other people's roles pleases. Everyone pretends to be who they are not. And then the process begins. You begin, layer by layer, to shed the accumulated layers of foreign roles, deeply ingrained conditionings, old traumas, and imposed expectations. And there, beneath all these layers, you meet someone you haven't seen, it seems, in an eternity, yourself. Not the distorted version shaped by fear and compromises, but the one that existed before all masks and pretenses, the one that remembers its true nature. This is the very self that the great Jung spoke of as the true center. Not the capricious ego, not the persona's mask, but your authentic, unshakable core. This self does not chase approval, power, or control. Its deepest call is to wholeness, to harmonious integration, to absolute peace. And once you touch this level of awareness, there is no turning back. You are forever changed. The external world may rage even more fiercely, but your inner reaction to it becomes remarkably softer, calmer. Chaos will continue its wild dance, but you no longer need to expend energy trying to tame it, for you have discovered something unshakable within yourself, far more enduring and true than all the illusions the external world can offer. This is true strength, the genuine maturity of spirit. If even one of these signs resonated with you, not just logically but deeply in the very core of your soul, then please accept my sincere congratulations. You are not just healing from old wounds, you are becoming yourself. You are blossoming. This remarkable evolution may at first seem like a solitary path, for it requires the courage to let go of who you were and at times of who others desperately want you to be. But know this, you are not alone. Around you is an entire unseen community of those who are also quietly yet inevitably awakening to their true essence.